Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
I'm Cynthia.
I'm Alison.
And we have a combined 55 years of experience working with children, families, and experts in early education.
We are not random influencers.
No, we are not. Whether you are new or have been our podcast peeps since 2018, we are thrilled you found us. Hi, preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
You know, this is the second episode in a row inspired by our listeners.
Yes, we
I'm
love
so
that.
excited about
Yes.
it. If you didn't catch last week's, go back. That was also a listener thing.
Yeah.
And today's is as well. Speaking of listeners, Alison, where in the world and where in the United States are people listening to us?
Oh, I hope I pronounced this properly.
We've watched the Olympics.
We have watched
this
the
year.
Olympics.
Okay.
We've been
You
practicing.
can do it.
We are saying hello to the people of Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Yes, I think I said it right.
Yes, I think you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very close anyway.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Tell your friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
Go on.
And we are saying hello to the people of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hello, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Hi, people in Milwaukee. Make sure you tell everybody to come and listen, and that we do take your ideas and make episodes sometimes when it's not something. You know, sometimes people write to us and say, here's an idea, or this is something I'm wondering, and we have already done it. So we just send them the episode number.
Yeah.
Last week and this week are things where we thought, no, we could dig more into that, or we could say more things about that. So thank you. If you want to send an idea for the podcast, go to howpreschoolteachersdoit.com and send it through our contact form, or go to Facebook and find our Facebook page, because you can message us there. You can also come to YouTube, where you'll see us. Hello.
Hi.
And there's I almost said UPC, a QR code on the screen. If you hold the camera on your mobile device up to that QR code, it will give you, you tap on the link it names, and it will take you to a virtual card that has all the links to all our things. So you feel free to go there too. And if you do come to YouTube, we're going to ask a favor. Please like and subscribe, because that helps our algorithms. And I actually have seen people doing it, and I've seen more people watching on YouTube, which is great. Yeah. So please do. And if you go to YouTube, you get to watch our evolution over how many years have we been doing this? Like 8 years?
2018.
Yeah. So over 8 years,
Yeah.
you're going to see us. Let's see. You're going to see me lose weight. You're going to see us change our hairstyles. You're going to see us before, during, and after a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to, no, not before. I'm wrong.
You won't see
we
us
put
because
them,
we used to not.
Yeah. We started to put these on YouTube during the pandemic.
Yes, because we had to do it like in our house.
Yes.
I was in my house and she was in her house, and it was the only way we could see each other was through Zoom. That's how we started that.
And there was nothing we could do about our pets because it was in the middle of a pandemic. And what do you want me to do with them?
She means my dog, who's very needy.
There was nothing we could do at that point. So we did our best to stay broadcasting. We did it, and then we got out of it, and now
we're here.
Now here we are. And you know, we had to let go of something that we're here to talk about today. During the pandemic, we had to let go of our tendency to be perfectionists and realize we're doing the best we can in the situation we're in. Yeah. Which, you know, we want children to go through life like, I'm doing the best I can in the situation I'm in, and to accept that about themselves and not be seeking perfectionism. Right. So listeners and viewers have written to us and said, can you address, if you have not already, perfectionism in very young children? You know, and the two of us looked at each other and said, I don't know that we've talked specifically about this, so we're happy to do it. We found some information to share. We always like to share research-based information in addition to our own experiences. And one of my favorite articles about this was on healthychildren.org, which is a great website. It's from the American Academy of Pediatrics, this website. So what I'm going to do is put a link to this article on our website well before this releases. So when you go onto the website, howpreschoolteachersdoit.com, if you go to the listener resources, you will be able to get a link to our favorite article about this. Thank you, American Academy of Pediatrics, for getting on this topic. So I think we know there are lots of problems with perfectionism, but we don't always know how to prevent it in children. And I can already see the first thing I'm going to say is something that was done with me when I was young. And I can already see why, among other reasons and other things, I can already see why perfectionism has been a thing for me in my life. So the first piece of information that you need to know is if we praise children for just being smart, they're going to be afraid to be anything else.
Right.
So they start to go, okay, the world sees me as smart. I have to maintain my reputation. And
Right.
so if I do something that wasn't so smart, do I even exist anymore?
Right. And I think that goes for other things too. Like if you have a child who's very athletic and you're only praising the athletics, then they think, okay, so when I don't know, break my leg or lose this competition, I'm not worth anything.
Right.
Right. So you can't just focus on one thing. We're whole people, right? So like if you're focusing just on grades or you're focusing just on athletics or their hobbies or whatever it might be, right? Then that's the only thing that they think gives them worth.
It's ultimately focusing, if we focus on the final product,
Right.
you know, doing something that is intelligent, doing something that is smart is the final product of a lot of thinking.
Yes, that's true.
It's a final product.
Yeah.
It's your brain has gone through a process and you made a decision and you evaluated and you then did something
Right.
that the rest of the world is perceiving as brilliant.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a final product.
Right.
If you are participating in a sport and you do really well, like gymnastics or
Right.
ice skating or
Yeah.
baseball or football, and you do something really great, that was the final product.
Right.
You did a lot of things before that to
Right.
make that happen.
But people don't see all the beforehand.
Right.
They only see, especially if you're an athlete, right? They're only seeing you at the Super Bowl, you in the Olympics, you or whatever, you know, like,
Whatever it is,
they're
yeah.
only seeing that end product, but they're not seeing the years of you, say, trying to do that jump and failing. You know, of you trying to throw a ball or kick a ball through an end zone and failing. You're not seeing that.
And for some children, being called smart becomes their Olympics.
Yes,
Like
yes,
I need
that's
to make
true.
sure everything I do is really, really smart. I'm gonna call out my grandfather, who I love very much, loved very, very much, and was
Yeah.
a wonderful grandfather. But I'm gonna call out something that he did because it was of his time, I guess, and of his personality, frankly.
Yeah.
He liked to tease us. And ordinarily his teasing was a bunch of fun, but not on the days when I would bring home something that was graded from school when I was a little older, or a lot older even.
Yeah.
I would bring home something, and if it had an A, he would say, why not an A plus? If I had an A minus, he would say, why not an A? If I had a
my
B plus, he would say, why
goodness.
not an A? And then he would laugh because he was teasing me about getting good grades, that I always got good grades.
But
But look what it did.
an A is a good grade. A B is a good. They're all good grade. Even if you failed the test, you tried your best, right?
I'm sorry, Grandpa, wherever you are. I just have to call this out.
Yeah.
It's he was teasing. He meant no harm.
yeah.
He was. It was his way of saying, you always do so well.
I know, but I think sometimes, as parents or teachers or whoever, people in children's lives, you know it's teasing.
Yeah, we don't always realize what we're
But
doing
the
to
children
other people.
might not know, and that sticks with you sometimes,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
you're like, oh, my A was not good enough. Your A, you know, even if you failed it, that's you tried. Did you try your hardest? Yes. Okay, that's good enough.
So as a parent, I learned from all this. I'll
Yeah,
tell you. And
yeah.
as a parent, one of the things I'm not proud of everything I said to my children. None of us is perfect.
Right.
But I'm very proud of the fact that I would look at my children and say things like, well, did you try hard?
Right.
All I'm asking you to do is try hard. You know, like, for example, if one of my children struggled in a class and his grade in the end of the marking period was a C, if I knew he tried hard, we were
Right.
okay. And,
Yeah.
and they knew that. My children
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah.
And they would tell you, my parents just wanted us to try hard. And if they
Right.
felt we weren't trying hard, that was a different story. But if they knew I was doing my best and this just isn't a good subject for me, we were cool with it.
Yeah.
So if I knew it just was tough for my child and my child was not trying their hardest,
Yeah.
you know, those are two different things. So as a parent, I guess I learned from my own experiences when people were always calling me really smart and saying things like that to me, that I looked at my children and said, it's about the effort. And so how do we combat perfectionism? One way is acknowledge the effort, not the final product.
Right.
And say things to children like, I see you trying really hard.
Yeah,
That's great.
I see that you worked hard on
The
that.
end result
Yeah.
doesn't have to be
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I see you trying really hard, because we want them to have something called a growth mindset.
Right.
And I've asked people, by the way, to define growth mindset when I have facilitated professional development. I'll say, how do you define a growth mindset? And they'll say it's your willingness to try, your willingness to learn new ideas and to try them,
Yeah.
your willingness to experiment,
Yeah.
your willingness to be wrong, your willingness to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Your willingness to be wrong and try again. That's how people define it.
Yeah.
So if all of that is a growth mindset, that's what we want the children to have. We want them to be willing to try, to know that it might not go wonderfully, and then be willing to try again if it doesn't. And to set that up, what we do is we say, all I need from you, all the world needs from you, is to try.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one can ask you for more than your best trying.
Right.
Or your best
Right.
effort.
Because even if you say you don't get an A on the test, you get a C, it doesn't mean you didn't learn. To me, the goal is to be always learning, right?
Yes.
Like that to me is a growth mind. You're always learning. So when you take the focus away from the final product, the grade, and you focus on the like, okay, did you learn something about this subject?
Yes.
Or, then it's like, oh, it doesn't matter what the grade is, because the reward to me is I learned something.
Mm-hmm. I think we also have to be really clear with children about a few things. Mm-hmm. One is, as they're adult, they see you as perfect.
Yes.
Until they're teenagers, then they don't see you as capable at all.
Yeah.
But in early childhood, they
Yes.
see you as this brilliant, magical, perfect
Yes.
being, and
Yeah.
we need to let them know we're not.
Right.
Even when they're very young.
Yeah.
We need to say to them, sometimes I make mistakes too.
Yeah. I say this in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I make a mistake, I make sure to point it out. Oh,
Yes.
I made a mistake. I'm sorry I made that mistake. I'm going to try again. Or
Right.
it's okay because we all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes. I make mistakes too.
Yeah.
It's okay to make
Yeah.
a mistake. And then you tell them what you do when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
When I make a mistake, I know I have to try to do it a different way.
Right, right.
So I try a different way.
Yeah.
And then if my different way doesn't work, I ask
Right.
for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I might, if let's say I worked with you in a classroom, I might
Yeah.
say to the child, I'm going to try a different way. If I can't think of a different way,
Right.
or my different way doesn't work, then I'm going to go to Allison and
Yeah.
ask for help.
Right. Right.
So what can you do? Right? And help them to realize it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not even be able to think of another idea. If you
Yeah.
can't, you come and you ask
Right.
for help.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we need to be really upfront with children about the fact that we're not perfect.
Right.
We also need to be really upfront with children about the effects of trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
And that can play a heavy toll on your mental and physical well-being.
Yeah.
That can cause, as you get older, let's face it, that perfectionism causes rapid heart rate, high blood pressure, anxiety, stomach and digestive issues, all the things, all the stress things. So
Yeah.
I think we need to, from the time children are young, say, it's okay to make a mistake, right? It's okay. We can't do everything perfectly, and when we try, it can make us sick.
Yeah.
We just have to do our best
Right.
all the time, and whatever your best is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
The trying is good enough. The trying is what matters.
Yeah.
We also need to think about, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, we have to think about things like their extracurricular activities, because doing all those things that we enroll them in can be enriching, but can also be overwhelming.
Yes.
So we have to be careful. If you are here attending to this podcast, it means you really care about your interactions with young children. There's lots of people who don't learn about that. Right. Lots of coaches, instructors.
That's true.
And by the way, you should go to your child's coach and other instructor and say, or if you know the children are involved in things at your work, say, you really should go and get some information. Here's a podcast you can listen to, and refer them to us if you would like. Everything we do is research-based.
Yeah.
They have to find reputable things, though. That's it. Just find them reputable things. Send them to websites like 0 to 3 and NACI.org, and send them places to learn about child development. But a lot of people are not interested. So many of these people are like, they're volunteering to not have to work a food stand. They don't, they're not trying to learn about child development.
Right.
So you really need to think about What are the extracurriculars?
Right.
How do the people treat them there? Are those coaches expecting perfectionism? Because if they are, this may not be the coach for us or for my child.
That's true. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
may
You
need to
have
switch.
really watch. As somebody who lives in front of a soccer field,
Oh,
okay,
you hear things.
I hear things. And some of these children are really young when I look out the window. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're mostly, I think they're all the way up to like fourth grade maybe. So they're
Yeah.
young. And I hear some of these coaches who are, some of them are absolutely wonderful. I'm not saying they all, some of them really are encouraging and they're like, that's okay, we'll try again next time. And there are others who I hear screaming at these young children
Yes.
because they missed a goal or they
Yes.
missed a kick or they fell on the field. And it's like,
100%.
that's not what you want for your child. So if you're at a game and you hear that, you might be like, you know what, this is not the team for us. And or approach the coach and be like, hi, we've been struggling with some perfectionism at our house. I would really appreciate it if you didn't put so much pressure on my child.
Yes.
And all the children for that matter. You know,
Yes.
like a conversation might need to happen.
You know, sometimes we say as parents, we say, okay, but we signed up and we're not quitters. So I want you to stop thinking of it as quitting. And the American Academy of Pediatrics says to think of it as pruning, kind of like you prune back a branch.
Yeah.
We're not leaving everything. We're not doing that. We're pruning. We're pruning away what no longer works for us and our child.
When you prune a plant, you're doing it to keep the plant healthy.
Yes.
You're not doing it, be like, oh, I'm taking your limb away. No, you're doing it to keep the plant healthy. It's how you keep plants healthy.
Right.
Is by pruning them. So if you think of your child that way, like we're going to take this off of your plate because you want your child.
It's causing you anxiety.
Yeah, you want your child to remain. But I would even have that discussion. Hey, we're not quitting it. We're doing this to protect your mental health.
You can decide we're going to take a break and sign you up again next year and request a different coach.
Yes.
Where ultimately, if you're a family member, you have to protect the child's mental health. And ultimately, if you are an early childhood professional, you also have to protect the child's mental health by making sure all day, every day, what you are acknowledging are the children's efforts, not final products.
Yes.
Early education is never about a task or a final product.
Right.
Early education is about the process of learning, and the process of learning means effort. We're going to praise the children's pathway, not where they end up.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that can help with that perfectionism. I think as a professional, we also should be teaching this to families.
Yeah.
Send them here, send them this episode, and say, listen, perfectionism is a real problem for children, both mentally and physically, for their health. And here's a couple of people talking about what to do to avoid or to mitigate that perfectionism.
Yeah.
I think some of it can be a little inborn,
I think so.
being a little particular.
Yeah.
But I think we also have to make sure that we are setting a stage for good mental health as best we can.
Yes.
So we are going to praise the effort. We're going to take a look at what are they doing where other people may be demanding perfectionism. And we are going to say out loud that we are not perfect.
Right.
That we make mistakes and here's how we handle it.
Yes.
And it's okay for you to go to them and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have, it was my mistake.
Yeah.
Sometimes I make mistakes too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, preschool peeps. I hope this helps you out. Those of you who wrote to us about perfectionism.
Yeah.
And please let us know if it did or didn't. Contact us again.
Yeah, because we
and
can
say,
do
is
a
this
deeper
what you need?
dive.
We can.
Yeah.
We can always dig deeper.
Yeah.
And I will put that article on the website for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We will catch you next time on the podcast.
Bye, peeps.
Bye, peeps.